Even Floyd, like when you make yourself like we got issues on your anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Are Floyd's comments potentially in breach of contract? He could blow the whole fight up and never fight, and also have taken a cash advance on the fight he may not ever have. He's broke! I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Floyd is so badly hurting for money that this is the stuff he's doing. Knowingly signing contracts for a pro fight just to go and publicly undermine it while taking a cash advance. Essentially going, cool, I need that money now. Who cares about the fight?
Boxing superstar Floyd Mayweather Jr. is reportedly under growing financial pressure after reports claimed that the IRS has placed a lien on his assets due to unpaid taxes. According to those reports, the outstanding tax debt is said to be approximately $7.3 million and is connected to tax years 2018 and 2023.
Mayweather is being targeted by the IRS over unpaid taxes, with some of his properties and assets being held on lien until the full balance is paid off, and if not, said assets will be fully taken away. This report comes from Business Insider but is also now being reported by Ring Magazine, in which they reveal that the IRS has filed a lien versus Mayweather in Las Vegas, currently putting a hold on Mayweather's Vegas property due to unpaid taxes stemming from 2018 and 2023 that have now ballooned to $7.3 million.
This situation goes far beyond a minor dispute or an exaggerated report. Authorities have reportedly taken formal action by placing restrictions on property in Las Vegas while the outstanding balance remains unpaid. If the debt is not resolved, those assets could ultimately become subject to seizure.
You think he's talking this trash because he wants a rematch? You think he actually wants
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can't spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
Yeah.
What adds even more attention to the matter is when it is happening. The reports have surfaced at a time when Floyd Mayweather Jr. is already facing scrutiny over his business activities and the growing discussion surrounding a potential upcoming bout with Manny Pacquiao.
It's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like
I
crazy.
mean, it only could go but so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your spending under wrap.
Although Floyd publicly described the rematch as an exhibition event, various reports indicate that he may have agreed to a professional fight instead. If those reports are accurate, failing to meet the terms of the agreement could potentially create legal complications. Adding to the speculation, there have also been claims that the same fight contract was used as security for a loan, prompting further concerns about the financial situation unfolding behind the scenes.
Is that what's his feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know he said
I wouldn't fight an exhibition.
no exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
Is Spears still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so it's still happening then.
he has to remember that.
But it's still on? It's still happening?
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why.
Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't?
Yeah. All right.
Adding to the concerns, several gyms linked to Floyd Mayweather Jr. have reportedly closed amid claims of unpaid rent and staff wages. One of those locations was allegedly acquired by Manny Pacquiao and later reopened under a new name. Reports also suggest that some workers left their jobs after not receiving payment, creating further questions about how the businesses were being operated. There were also claims that Mayweather experienced substantial financial losses and cannot account for roughly $340 million from the reported $1.2 billion he earned throughout his boxing career. The figure immediately sparked surprise. Wow, that's a huge amount. Another person then clarified that the reported $340 million was being discussed in addition to the estimated $1.2 billion in career earnings. That's incredible. At the same time, several parties, including the IRS, investors, and business associates, are reportedly seeking clarification. For someone whose public image has always centered on wealth and financial discipline, these developments raise serious questions about that reputation.
Boxed everybody. I boxed everybody, and it's so crazy. Like, you know, I had a lot of great days, I had a lot of bad days in the gym. But I tell them I never have bad paydays.
Dimitri Salita told me a story that one time a big heavyweight, a known heavyweight, challenged you. You told Leonard to go get your bag and you dropped him with the body shot.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. You know, a lot of times guys do good in the gym. You know, they be happy. They feel like if you done good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title, Well, you got to really look at this now. Slow down. You go home to an apartment. You know, I go home to a palace. There's a difference.
Now, Floyd,
you know, when you say your name, when they say these fighters' name, they say thousands and millions. When you say Money Mayweather, you say billions.
The lack of public comment from Floyd Mayweather Jr. and those representing him has only fueled further speculation. With multiple issues reportedly unfolding at the same time, the overall situation appears far from straightforward. Whether the matter is settled behind closed doors or develops into a larger dispute involving legal and financial challenges, it is being viewed as one of the most significant issues Mayweather has encountered away from boxing.
Owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
You can always sell those. And just as the situation surrounding Floyd appears to be getting more complicated, Timothy Bradley offered a very different perspective. Rather than viewing the developments as a major problem, he suggested that the moves being discussed could simply be part of a carefully planned business approach. Bradley wasn't necessarily dismissing the concerns, but he examined them from the viewpoint of someone familiar with the boxing business. According to his reasoning, receiving money in advance can create valuable leverage when the deal is structured properly. He implied that if Floyd secured funding ahead of time and arranged the agreement strategically, then changing the event from a professional contest to an exhibition may not indicate confusion or disorder at all. Instead, it could be an intentional business decision designed to work in his favor.
I don't know if Mayweather did that, but you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free money.
Listening to that explanation, it almost sounds exactly like something Floyd would do. While many people are interpreting the situation as disorganized or uncertain, Timothy Bradley is suggesting that Floyd could already have a plan in place and be operating several moves ahead of everyone else. From that perspective, he may be addressing financial commitments, reducing outside pressure, and then restructuring the deal to better match his current circumstances. After all, Floyd is no longer a young fighter looking to take unnecessary risks. At this stage of his life and career, stepping into a demanding professional fight would likely need to make complete business sense before becoming a reality. However, this is where the situation becomes more complicated, because even Bradley acknowledges that there are still important questions that remain unanswered.
It's basically free money. So we know, Mayweather was, it's been reported, I should say, allegedly, that, he's been a little upside down on some of his taxes and some of his properties. And I guess he needed to come back and fight and take care of that. Well, he got some cheese from that advancement.
That creates an interesting conflict. On one side, Floyd may be approaching the situation strictly as a businessman, while the people and institutions around him continue to view everything through the lens of a professional fighter. When those two perspectives collide, complications can quickly follow. Timothy Bradley also suggested that any money received in advance may have already been used to address some of the financial concerns being discussed. If that is the case, the story takes on a different meaning. Instead of pointing to financial distress, it could indicate calculated planning and strategic decision-making. Even so, the scrutiny surrounding the situation remains. Tax authorities, contractual obligations, business associates, and other interested parties are all reportedly paying close attention to what happens next. Because of that, the central issue is no longer simply what Floyd intends to do. The bigger question is whether he can successfully align all of those outside factors with the course he wants to take. Given Floyd's history of handling business matters in unconventional ways, many would argue the possibility cannot be dismissed.
I just know that money he received, I'm pretty, man, damn it, I don't know for sure, but damn it, I'm probably about, I know I'm 85, 90%. I'm telling you, because I don't think he'll be doing this. This is business. So he's just saying, I understand it was a real fight, but now I want to change it. I want to change it now. I got my advancement. Now I want to change it.
I've already received the advance payment. Now I can adjust the deal if I want to. While Timothy Bradley was analyzing the situation from a business perspective, Shane Mosley approached it from an entirely different angle. His focus wasn't on contracts, negotiations, or financial arrangements. Instead, he looked at the reality of what could happen inside the ring. What makes Mosley's opinion stand out is that he has shared the ring with both fighters. Rather than making a bold prediction, he spoke cautiously, almost as if his first-hand experience made him reluctant to draw firm conclusions. Mosley acknowledged that Floyd Mayweather Jr. may no longer possess the same physical sharpness he once had. He suggested that age could have reduced some of his speed and made him more vulnerable than during his prime years. That naturally raises the possibility that Manny Pacquiao could have opportunities that might not have existed before. However, Mosley didn't stop there. He also pointed out that Pacquiao could be dealing with challenges of his own, including factors related to preparation and training. Suddenly, the discussion shifts. Instead of debating which fighter is superior, the focus becomes which one has declined the least over time. Mosley then revisited the contrasting styles that made this matchup so intriguing in the first place, reminding everyone why the contest has remained a topic of discussion for so many years. Right now, Floyd isn't the exact same fighter he was during his prime.
Now Floyd's not the same Floyd that he was back in the day. So, maybe he's a little bit older and he's not moving as much. And you know that when you get a little bit older, sometimes you don't have the same foot movements, stuff like that, and you're able to get hit with certain shots. So maybe Manny has a chance to get in there and do some stuff. But Manny also has seemed like some complications with I don't know if he had some kind of stroke or something in the sparring and stuff like that. I thought I seen. So, there's stuff going on with him too as well. So, we will see.
Pacquiao's style has always been built around relentless activity, fast combinations, and non-stop aggression. In contrast, Floyd is known for making adjustments as a fight unfolds, finding answers to problems and adapting round by round with remarkable precision. When Shane Mosley explained that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the more challenging opponent overall, while Manny Pacquiao possessed the greater punching power, he summed up the difference between them perfectly. One fighter creates problems through intelligence, timing, and strategy, while the other attempts to take control through pace, pressure, and physical force. Mosley also briefly reflected on the moment when he managed to hurt Floyd during their fight. Even years later, the memory still seemed significant, as if he could clearly remember how close he came to changing the course of that contest.
The harder puncher was Manny Pacquiao, but the most difficult was Mayweather.
Okay.
As far as his IQ, he had a better IQ, but Manny had a harder working repetition where he'll come at you. He's working hard. He's trying to get you. whereas Mayweather is more technical and will sit there and pick you apart.
And just as the conversation shifts away from technical breakdowns and business theories, Manny Pacquiao enters with a completely different tone. There is no dramatic language, no attempt to create headlines, and no emotional outburst. Instead, he speaks with a calm confidence that arguably carries even more weight. At first, Pacquiao focuses on values such as faith, hard work, discipline, and humility, giving the impression that the discussion will remain thoughtful and reflective. But before long, he turns his attention to the matter at hand. His message is straightforward. The agreement was reportedly made for a professional fight, and the advance payment was already received. From his perspective, that leaves little room for confusion. What makes the approach effective is its simplicity. Rather than attacking anyone personally or creating unnecessary drama, Pacquiao relies on a clear and consistent point. While others continue to discuss different scenarios and possibilities, he presents the situation as though the outcome has already been established. In that view, changing the event from a professional contest to an exhibition would not be seen as moving forward, but rather as a step away from what was originally agreed upon.
If you ask me, as a boxer, I don't need somebody to push me to work hard, work more, but I do. I did. I always put that in my mind when I'm in training. I have to do extra mile to get that condition.
There are no elaborate explanations, no signs of uncertainty, and no attempt to complicate the message. That simplicity is exactly what gives it strength. It's difficult to challenge someone who presents their position calmly and consistently without becoming emotionally involved. At the same time, Manny Pacquiao has spoken about pushing himself through demanding training sessions, reportedly completing more than 30 rounds of work in a single day. His comments paint the picture of someone preparing for a serious competitive bout rather than a ceremonial exhibition. That difference in approach becomes impossible to ignore. On one side, there are ongoing discussions about adjustments, negotiations, and possible changes to the event. On the other, there is a fighter whose message remains straightforward. He is preparing for a professional fight and nothing else. As a result, the focus begins to move beyond financial matters and contractual debates. The conversation becomes centered on commitment, specifically, who is fully invested in the version of the matchup that was originally presented. Through both his words and preparation, Pacquiao appears determined to show that he is already operating with that mindset.
Purpose of exhibition that was long time ago, year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. And then I want a real fight. So he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's true.
At this stage, the situation no longer feels like a single storyline. Instead, it appears to be a combination of several different issues coming together, each adding another layer to the overall picture. On one side are the financial concerns, the reported IRS matters, contractual questions, and growing business-related scrutiny. Taken together, those developments have fueled ongoing speculation about what may be happening behind the scenes. Then Timothy Bradley offers a different interpretation. Rather than seeing disorder, he suggests there may be a calculated strategy at work. His perspective raises the possibility that Floyd is approaching these challenges the same way he has handled many situations throughout his career, through careful planning and business maneuvering, even if the circumstances have changed. Just as that explanation begins to gain traction, Shane Mosley shifts the focus back to the realities of competition. His comments serve as a reminder that regardless of financial strategies or contractual decisions, age and physical wear remain unavoidable factors. Experience can still provide advantages, but no fighter remains exactly the same forever. Then comes Manny Pacquiao, delivering his position without drama or confrontation. Rather than trying to control the narrative, he simply presents his understanding of the situation and continues preparing accordingly. That approach adds another dimension to the discussion because it places the emphasis on commitment rather than debate. As a result, the conversation moves beyond questions of who is correct or mistaken. The focus increasingly becomes whether everyone involved remains committed to the terms and expectations that were originally put forward.
Well, we all look forward to that fight. I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So then now makes excuses. No.
What we're seeing now is a collision of competing forces: business interests against contractual responsibilities, long-term strategy against outside expectations, and reputation against present-day reality. Throughout his career, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has built a reputation for controlling the circumstances around him, making calculated decisions, and positioning himself advantageously whenever possible. The challenge this time is that the situation appears far more complicated. There are numerous parties involved, significant public attention, and multiple issues unfolding simultaneously. Every move is being examined not only from a sporting perspective, but also through legal, financial, and business lenses. Because of that, the discussion has grown beyond the question of whether a fight will take place. Instead, attention has shifted toward understanding what version of Floyd is navigating these circumstances. Is he still the master planner who consistently stays ahead of developments and shapes outcomes to his benefit? Or are the growing complications creating openings that have become difficult to ignore? Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao has maintained the same position throughout. His message, preparation, and outlook have remained largely unchanged. That consistency has only highlighted the contrast between the two sides. One appears to be adapting to evolving circumstances, while the other continues to stand firmly by the path it originally laid out.
I'm doing exhibitions, and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100?
What do you think about the situation? Share your thoughts in the comments section and join the conversation. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, share it with other boxing fans, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters for more updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.